It's travel day. We are ready. It is finally the summer holidays. Our bags are packed. We're good to go. And the driver is outside to take us to the airport. We've got about an hour and a half from Al to get to Abu Dhabi airport. And our flight leaves at about 2:30. It's currently 10:30. Let's get going. So we're now at the airport. Everything was pretty smooth. A little bit stressful as it always is. We're now going to go and find something to eat. We've got about 2 hours until our flight leaves, but we're ravenous, so food it is. Cheers.
Tomorrow.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ting, ting.
Just having a beer. We land in Colombo at like...
Money has been secured so that we can now pay for things like visas and stuff like that. But maybe you're wondering where we're flying to. Well, we are on our way to Sri Lanka. This is the first leg of our summer journey. We're spending the next 5-6 weeks of our summer traveling around parts of Asia. So yeah, it's going to be great. We're flying to Sri Lanka, Colombo, and our flight leaves in just under an hour. So we are on our way to our gate. We land about 8:30 p.m. local time, and then we've got a hostel close to the airport that we have booked into. And the adventure fully begins tomorrow. So should be good. And we have finally arrived in Sri Lanka. It was about a 4.5 hour flight, just under. So we now need to go through, figure out visas and stuff like that, collect our baggage, and then go and find our hostel. We have now found our hostel. I think we were probably ripped off a little bit by the taxi driver, but it is what it is. We're in this surprisingly large hostel. It's quite quiet. Weather's temperature-wise isn't too bad. Definitely feels cooler than Abu Dhabi, but it is humid here, so I'm already feeling a bit tacky on the forehead. I think the plan is we're gonna shower up, freshen up, possibly go to bed or have a little wander around, see what's here. It's only a stopover today. The real adventure kicks off tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you why tomorrow. So we've just come out to have a little look around the hostel. It's quite dark, there's not really anyone around, but we've seen fireflies glinting in the dark, and there are massive fruit bats in all of the palm trees. It's a bit mental, this place. So it is now the morning. We have had a bit of a lazy lay-in. I think it was needed. And we've now come down to the reception area again. Looks like it has rained, which is hardly unexpected out here, but we have avoided it so far. We've just ordered some breakfast, a couple of omelets and some coffee. And in the next hour or so, we're gonna be getting in a taxi or a tuk-tuk potentially back towards the airport to go and pick up our ride for the next week. Daisy's gone in search of some wildlife. You found it?
I didn't see it. I think it was a chipmunk or something.
She's back at it again. All right, Dora the Explorer. We've finally got our food. We've got some omelettes with a massive plate full of toast, some jam, and now we're just waiting on coffees. So we've now finished our breakfast. We're just gonna go and grab the last of our belongings from the room. We didn't really pack anything last night just because there's no point. We're only here for the night. One thing that I would note is I mentioned about getting ripped off by taxis. Now, when you come out into the airport, and to be honest, this is the same for pretty much every airport, there are taxi companies and airport taxis, and they always overcharge you. And as soon as we left the airport, there were like lines of tuk-tuks that obviously aren't allowed inside the airport gates, but would have been a lot cheaper. So if you're coming to Sri Lanka and you're going to be staying nearby, be brave, exit the airport and haggle with a tuk-tuk guy. So we've stayed at the Airport Heritage Hotel. It's not far from the airport, it's about a 10-minute drive away. I think the one thing that we probably should have done differently is because of where we're going now, we probably should have booked somewhere the other side of the airport, but it doesn't matter. It's been nice. We've stayed here for the one night. I'd probably recommend it. It's good. We had some nice breakfast afterwards, so yeah. There is a pool. We haven't made the most of it because we were sleeping and it is a bit wet outside, but yeah. Anyway, time to book a tuk-tuk.
Fire lights went down, when you feel lost in your shadow, don't feel alone, don't scream so loud. We are living in this cruel world, broken but strong, gotta move on. You're not a bakery of life, equip my soul, find the real gold, I'll fulfill what I started.
So, if you hadn't already guessed it, we have hired our own tuk-tuk. It's from a rental company called tuktukrental.com. We found a reel, or Daisy found a reel pop up on our Instagram weeks ago, I think it was now, of a girl and her partner who had done the same thing that we're doing now. You get like a little driving lesson, you get some instructional videos, you get taken out by one of the locals, and then you get a key, and you're free to roam the island via tuk-tuk. So this is our tuk-tuk. We're about 20 or so minutes away from the next hotel, and we're going to explain where that is in a second. But yeah, we're driving our own tuk-tuk around. It's pretty cool. And we have finally got here. We're staying in a place called Elephant Bay. So it's good. Our man here helped us out, but we're good. There are a handful of hotels in this area. We've picked this place because, well, I'm going to show you in a second why we've picked it, but it's right on the riverfront. There's palm trees and forests and hills and mountainous areas the other side. We tuk-tuk here, it took us about 2 hours, all through like little rural areas with little cafes and restaurants and shops and stuff on the way. But have a look at this. So this is outside the back of the hotel. Basically, in the morning, you can go down, you can have a swim, and the elephants all come out into the river to bathe. You can go down there with them, there's activities that you can do with them. So yeah, you can have a swim in the pool whilst there are elephants in the river just over there. Mental. So we have secured a beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
We will be civilised in a second and pour it in a glass, but for now, it's the first beer of the trip. It's a big one. Lion Lager. Oh, that's so needed. So have you enjoyed the tuk-tuk so far?
I was really nervous at first. Stalled a few times in the lesson, but then I think I was the better driver the rest of the day. I only stalled once.
You only stalled once.
And I went through a busy town.
You did? How did your reversing go?
You do the reversing. The instructor wouldn't let me reverse park. It was terrible.
So driving the tuk-tuk is very similar to driving like a moped or like a Vespa. You have like the turn-in handle and brakes and various other things. So it's good fun. We've got it for the next week, and we've made our first journey to here. Sort of, well, it's an elephant sanctuary essentially over the other side of the river, and the hotel that we've got, they come right up to the waterfront here. So we'll have to see the elephants in the morning. But for now, we're gonna chill out. We're gonna have a couple of beers, probably jump in the pool, and then at some point later, grab some dinner. Oh. This is so class. Got in the pool for a refreshing dip. I've got the beer, the river settings behind. Oh, it's so good to be in the summer holidays. So far, Sri Lanka has not disappointed. So it's the morning. We've come down for breakfast, coffee, tea, and in about an hour and a half, the elephants should come out. So the breakfast setup here is a buffet, and they have a range of things from sort of European style breakfasts of like croissants and things like that, all the way through to local foods. Naturally, I've gone for local. So I've got some chicken, got some dal, got some different pancakey bits, got a roti there, coconut roti, some bread. Yeah, this is breakfast. Daisy's gonna come back in a minute, and we have coffee and an amazing view. We found the elephants, they're coming down. Look at them. So So we were literally just having breakfast and I looked over Daisy's shoulder and I saw the elephants coming down. They've just come down in between the hotels over there and they're now bathing in the river. How crazy is that? There's about 7 of them. I've stayed in some pretty amazing hotels in the world before, but not many of them, if any, have been able to offer me elephants in the morning. This is mind-blowing, honestly. We're having breakfast just up there, and the elephants are just down there. And what's also crazy is that this hotel only cost us about 30 euros for the night. 30 euros for one night, and you get to wake up to bathing elephants. What do you think?
Insane. I like these two. They're washing each other.
They're having a little bath.
And I think those two are getting in trouble.
They're getting in trouble with the man. So we're just sitting down, we've ordered a beer, and we're just watching them slowly move out into the middle of the river. I think Daisy counted there's about 30 elephants out there now. We can spot at least 2 babies. So yeah, if you come here, you're definitely gonna see elephants. It's amazing. So as I said, the hotel's here, we've got the pool, and there are the elephants. They've come right up close, so we're going down to get a closer look. Look how close they are. There's the baby. So we are back in the tuk-tuk. We've stopped off to get ourselves some little fried samosa-y things. We've got about 30 more minutes until we get to Kandy, which is the next stop in the journey. But I'm going to end this video here because it's already got lots of stuff going on in it. And I will see you on our next part of our Sri Lankan tuk-tuk adventure. See you then.